Welcome to Hollywood Actions. In this video, we're going to explore movies so wild, bold, and controversial that studios would probably never greenlight them today. From shocking violence to taboo, storytelling, and boundary-pushing themes, these films challenged audiences and pushed Hollywood far beyond its comfort zone. Some became cult classics, while others sparked massive debates around the world. 1. A Clockwork Orange, 1971. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, A Clockwork Orange shocked audiences when it was released in 1971. The film follows Alex, a violent young man obsessed with classical music and extreme acts of crime. Its disturbing scenes of brutality and psychological experimentation created enormous controversy worldwide. Many critics believed the film glorified violence, while others praised it as a powerful critique of free will and government control. Because of its graphic content and moral complexity, modern studios would likely hesitate to finance such a risky project today. Despite the controversy, the film became a cult classic and remains one of Kubrick's most discussed works. 2. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre, 1974. When Tobe Hooper released The Texas Chain Saw Massacre in 1974, audiences were horrified by its raw brutality and terrifying realism. The film follows a group of young friends who encounter a family of cannibals in rural Texas. With its gritty style, disturbing atmosphere, and the unforgettable villain Leatherface, the movie redefined horror cinema. It was banned or heavily censored in several countries due to its shocking violence. Today, major studios often avoid films with such uncompromising intensity unless they are heavily toned down. Yet this low-budget horror film became hugely influential and inspired countless horror movies that followed. 3. Caligula, 1979. Few movies in Hollywood history are as controversial as Caligula. Produced by Bob Guccione and starring Malcolm McDowell, the film depicts the rise and madness of the Roman Emperor Caligula. What made the film infamous was its explicit content and graphic scenes that blurred the line between historical drama and adult cinema. Critics condemned it, and many theaters refused to show it. Modern Hollywood studios rarely take such extreme creative risks because of potential backlash and financial danger. Still, the film remains a fascinating example of how far filmmakers once pushed boundaries in mainstream cinema. 4. Natural Born Killers, 1994. Directed by Oliver Stone, Natural Born Killers tells the story of two lovers who become infamous serial killers while the media turns them into celebrities. Starring Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis, the film used experimental editing, psychedelic visuals, and brutal violence to criticize sensationalist media culture. Many viewers believed the film itself glorified violence, and it sparked heated debates about media influence. Several crimes were even controversially linked to the film. Because of its extremely provocative themes and chaotic style, modern studios would likely hesitate to approve such a risky and controversial project today. 5. Showgirls, 1995. When Showgirls, directed by Paul Verhoeven, premiered in 1995, it shocked audiences with its explicit portrayal of ambition, sexuality, and the darker side of Las Vegas entertainment. Starring Elizabeth Berkley, the film tells the story of a dancer determined to become a top showgirl. Despite a massive budget and marketing campaign, the movie received harsh criticism and became one of the most infamous flops in Hollywood history. Over time, however, it gained a cult following. Because of its controversial tone and adult content, many believe modern studios would avoid producing such an unapologetically provocative film today. 6. Fight Club, 1999. Directed by David Fincher and starring Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, Fight Club challenged society's obsession with consumer culture and masculinity. The film follows an office worker who forms an underground fighting club as a rebellion against modern life. While now considered a masterpiece, the movie was controversial at release due to its anarchic themes and brutal fight scenes. Some critics feared it could encourage violence. Because of its anti-establishment message and dark philosophy, studios today might hesitate to fund such a bold project, yet it remains one of the most influential films of the 1990s. 7. The Human Centipede, 2009. Few horror films are as infamous as The Human Centipede, directed by Tom Six. The film tells the disturbing story of a mad scientist who surgically connects several victims together to create a grotesque human centipede. Its shocking concept alone made headlines worldwide and led many people to question how such a film was ever produced. Although it became a cult horror hit, many critics and viewers found it deeply disturbing. Because modern studios are extremely cautious about controversial concepts, it is unlikely that a film with such a shocking premise would receive mainstream financial backing today. 8. Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom, 1975. Directed by Pier Paolo Pasolini, Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom, is widely considered one of the most controversial films ever made. Set during World War II, the film depicts a group of powerful figures who kidnap and abuse young victims in a shocking allegory about fascism and corruption. The film's graphic imagery and disturbing themes led to bans in many countries. Even today, it remains extremely difficult for audiences to watch. Because of its deeply disturbing content and strong political message, it is almost unimaginable that a major studio would approve such a film in today's Hollywood environment. 9. Kids, 1995. Written by Harmony Korine and directed by Larry Clark, Kids shocked audiences with its brutally realistic depiction of teenage life in New York City. The film follows a group of teenagers over the course of one day as they engage in reckless behavior involving drugs, crime, and risky relationships. Many critics praised the film for its honesty, while others condemned it for being too explicit. Because it featured young actors portraying extremely controversial situations, the film sparked huge debates about morality in cinema. In today's highly sensitive media climate, a movie like Kids would likely face enormous challenges getting produced. 10. Tropic Thunder, 2008. Although it is a comedy, Tropic Thunder pushed boundaries in ways that would likely cause major controversy today. Directed by and starring Ben Stiller, the film satirizes Hollywood actors making a war movie who accidentally find themselves in a real conflict. The movie featured outrageous satire, including a controversial performance by Robert Downey Jr. that sparked debates about cultural sensitivity. While the film was a commercial success and earned an Academy Award nomination, many believe that modern studios would hesitate to approve some of its bold comedic choices due to the risk of backlash in today's media landscape. Those were movies so wild that studios might never greenlight them today. Each of these films pushed boundaries, challenged audiences, and proved that cinema can sometimes take risks that change the industry forever. Whether controversial, shocking, or simply daring, these movies remain unforgettable parts of film history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends who love Hollywood movies and film history. Thanks for watching. Movie Camera Sparkles.